Hey, it's Glenn, and today I'm talking to y'all about my short story, Music of the Metrognomes, which has been free for the last several days on Kindle, and this is the last day that it's going to be free. So if you're watching this after September 21st of 2016, it's no longer free, but it's only 99 cents, so I hope you'll check it out anyway. Alright, so this is a very short story, and so this will probably be a pretty brief video. I don't know, I do tend to ramble, so we'll see. Anyway, where this story came from is kind of epic. I'm going to save a lot of it for when I talk about the novel Metrognomes, the Shaman's Apprentice, because it's really all kind of entangled and it started with the novel. This story I wrote it before the novel, but the novel was already there. So I wrote this as a prelude to the novel, kind of as a way to, because Metrognomes was so different from anything else I had written. Like, this was taking me out of the horror genre and into the fantasy genre, and it was so different and so ambitious that I really wanted to dip my toes in the water before I jumped in. And that's kind of what this story and the second story, Worse Than a Gremlin, were. They were kind of test runs. So the short story is set 5 years before the first novel in the series, The Shaman's Apprentice. And it was really just it was an intro to the two protagonists when they were kids, like right after they had first met. And it was an introduction to kind of the main theme of the Metrognomes series, which was embracing diversity. And so you have these two gnomes from two very different cultures who are forbidden a friendship but forge one anyway. And so you get a little taste of that in Music of the Metrognomes, and kind of like what they're capable of doing together when they combine the things that make them different versus what they can do separately, which isn't as much. They both have the same goal and they don't meet it until they start playing their instruments together, because they're trying to woo the birds, and they don't do it until they play together. They're like Acton's flute and Pete's synthesizer. So I mean, it's a very short story because it's a prelude. It's like I had some people tell me this should have been at the front of the novel, and I disagree. But not many people said that. Just, I'm getting off track and rambling again because that's what I do. So interesting thing is that Molly Breimer and I wasn't gonna write Metrognomes, but then Molly came into the picture and drew the pictures, and I will get to that again when I talk about the novel, because it's more relevant to that. But we had originally planned to do Music of the Metrognomes with full color illustrations, and it just, like, I've still got some of those in the archives, that some of them were partially finished. Molly did concept art for all of the illustrations. Maybe one day we'll get back to that, because it really was going to be gorgeous, but it was just a matter of time. Like, I wanted this story out so that we could start setting up this world and building interest for the novel. And so we abandoned that, but the cover art is actually it was going to be one of the illustrations on the inside of the ebook. But, you know, it was so perfect as far as if I could just pick one picture to make the cover, it was just perfect. So we went with that as the cover, and that's the only illustration you get to see. But the original concept was that there were going to be several fully painted pictures on the inside. And you know, I mean, it's a short story. That's pretty much all I have to say about it right now. That won't take away from what I have to say about the novel in a future video. So like I said, it's still free today, But if you're watching this after September 21st, 2016, you're going to have to pay a whopping 99 cents to read it. And it would be less if Amazon would let me put the price lower than 99 cents, but they won't. So, so there you go. And the availability all the time, like there's an ebook, it's primarily an ebook through Amazon or Amazon Kindle apps. And the paperback that I've been showing you is available exclusively through GlennSladeClarkJr.com. And it is 27 pages long, but it's a cheat because, I mean, it's double spaced. And so, I mean, it's a very short story, but if you want to get into the world of Metrognomes, this is a fun way to dip your toe in the water. And, you know, it's not a big adventure story like most Metrognomes things are. It's a prologue. So I hope you'll check it out. Meanwhile, happy reading, happy life, whatever, happy whatever you're doing. And I'll talk to y'all later.